The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Greetings and welcome once again to Easton 300, a monthly TV show that talks about the good things that happen in the town of Easton, Massachusetts. And yes, we're talking about the 300th anniversary of a community rich in history. And we have a couple of special guests. I'm Dave Clifton, here along with my co-host.
Afternoon, how are you?
And we're even going to mention his name, Brian Hoffman. And of course, we're excited about how the celebration has gone so far. It started off at Stonehill College, and it's going to finish at Stonehill College with our anniversary gala. And we're so happy the way things have been going, Brian. We have been blessed with hundreds of volunteers and people dedicating their time and their talent to help serve the community.
Absolutely. And we talk about community a lot on this show because everything about the 300th is kind of a tapestry woven with the word community in it. And sitting next to me, the president of Stonehill College, Father John Denning, I don't think there's too many people in town who represent the word community more than Father Denning does. And so Father John and his staff have done incredible things in terms of offering facilities, making things available to us, and supporting the 300 from the word go. So it's a pleasure to have you here, Father.
Hats off to the Skyhawks, and what a terrific job you did bringing people to our parade.
Oh, it
was terrific. When I was at the microphone, I saw you and I saw lots of folks from Stonehill College, a lot of the alumni as well.
A lot of connections in town.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, Father John, I know that you have been involved at Stonehill College as the president for how many years?
It's 12 years.
12 years. And I know that you take an active part in just about everything that goes on campus. And we're so pleased to have Stonehill College in our backyard. And of course, Brian, you're an alumni.
I am.
And
I am. And
speak good things about Stonehill.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I really didn't know about the college until we got here after I got out of the service. But everything that everyone said, the college was a young school then. That was coming up on 50 years ago that I graduated. So, but it was a college that offered all the things that I wanted. Small, something you could get your arms around. Really good educators, really good teachers. And interestingly enough, Father John, you just went through a significant anniversary for the college.
Yeah, we just had our 75th anniversary last year. So it's great to mark those milestones, for institutions, for towns, for communities, to recognize and thank people for all they've done, and certainly our 75th was an opportunity to recognize a lot of good work that's happened in these 75 years to really fulfill the mission of the college and, to look back and to think about the Holy Cross priests and brothers who came here and in the 30s and then in 1948 founded the institution, and to see how it's flourished, especially for our students and our alumni.
Father John, we're going to come back to you and talk a little bit about the history of Stonehill, but I did want to introduce our other guest, Alex Tainsh. And Alex, you are the general manager of the Brockton Rocks. A big thank you and shout out from all of our committee members and of course the community for hosting an Easter night, and it's scheduled for August 16th, folks. I hope you have tickets. We want to make sure that you come together, and as you can see the theme behind me, bringing families and the community together. We're going to be able to do that at Campanelli Stadium. Tell us about the Brockton Rocks.
Yeah, that's what we've been throwing the word community around, and that's what professional baseball is all about. In the Brockton Rocks, we are an independent professional baseball team that plays in the Frontier League. The Rocks have been around in different forms for about the last 20 years in Brockton, but this season we're calling our revival season. We have a new ownership group. I myself am new there. New to the Rocks, but been in baseball for 15 years across the country in New Mexico, Tennessee, Washington, D.C., and just really excited to be back home in New England and leading the day-to-day operations for the Rocks. We're a place where even if you're not maybe consider yourself the biggest baseball fan, we're an area where you can come out and have fun with your family in an affordable way. So we do fireworks on Saturdays, we do kids run the bases every night, we have cotton candy and hot dogs, and our mascot takes photos and signs autographs. We do all kinds of fun games with kids between innings and all kinds of great things. So if you haven't been out there this season, we have 12 games left. We would love for you to come, and we of course would absolutely love if you can come on our Easton night where we're celebrating the tricentennial with you all. And we will have fireworks that night. It's going to be a great night out at the ballpark. And to make it even better, anyone who is an Easton resident can, of course, get a free ticket to the game on the 16th because we want it to be a place where the Easton community comes together. Even though we're not technically in Easton, we're, of course, great neighbors right next to it. And so we're excited to extend Easton celebration into Brockton for one night only. So there are vouchers, I know, around town in Easton, but also if you don't have a voucher or you haven't signed up on the link, you can still just come on that day. We're going to have a tent and table set up right at our main gate there, and we'll just show your ID, and we will get you a ticket and get you in for the ball game.
Our understanding is that the park will open at 4:30.
It will actually open that day at 3:30 because we have a double header. So it's bonus baseball for everybody that day. It's a single admission double header. We will play 2 7-inning games. We will start at 4:30 for game 1, but you can come and you can stay for 14 innings of baseball. You can come and watch the first game and then leave, whatever you like to do. And then we'll have a lot of our fanfare and everything and the first pitches and all that as we move into game 2.
And we're going to have our select board chair, Dottie Fulgenetti, is going to throw out the first pitch. And also our vice chair will throw out the first pitch. And we're going to have a couple of people from the Tricentennial Committee. So there'll be a lot of first pitches.
You're burying the lead, Dave.
I think our chair will be throwing out
Yes,
one
I
of those
believe
first.
you yourself have been loosening up already in your backyard and will be throwing out a pitch. There we go.
That's right.
There you go. It's a strike every time.
That's right. That's
The fact is that we are very grateful to the Brockton Rocks for making this game available to salute the town of Easton, Massachusetts on their 300th anniversary. And we also, Brian, we have a flag that we're going to present to Alex as well as Father John. And we know this is going to be flying on the night of that game, that doubleheader. And it has our theme on it. And hats off to the town of Easton as they celebrate the history. And speaking of history, Brian, we want to go back to Father John. There's a lot of history that goes with the college. Maybe you could share that with our viewing audience. We got lots of folks from the town of Easton that know that the college is here. And what do you have to say about the history?
Well, you know, our roots are really here in Easton. You know, the college was founded on property that was originally owned by the Ames family, who sold it to the Congregation Holy Cross in the 1930s. And in 1948, priests and brothers and our lay colleagues formed an institution there. So right now we educate about 2,500 students annually, undergraduates, and then about 100 and so graduate students. So, you know, it's a mix of programs in the arts and sciences and things you typically find in an undergraduate institution, as well as a business program that's accredited by AACSB. It's probably one of our largest programs at the institution. So it's just you know, we talked a lot about community, but you know, for the Holy Cross community at Stonehill, community is really at the soul of what we are, you know, people who really care for one another and work for a common mission of educating the hearts and minds of our students, and work with our lay collaborators as we go about that, living out the mission of the institution.
And I think, too, the interesting thing that I recognized when I got to Stonehill was the fact that the very foundation of it, those first 4, 5, 6 years, so many of the students were returning veterans coming back from the Korean conflict. And so I saw people who were there like I was on the GI Bill, having come back from the Vietnam conflict. And I saw, vets from earlier on, and an awful lot, and correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but an awful lot of our first graduating classes were young people out of, I would say, lower middle income families, and they may have been the first in their family to go to college. And it was accessible, it was affordable, they were mostly day students, they were, at the very beginning. But it has a foundation that feels like Easton in a great lot of ways. So I don't know if you...
Well, we really were founded for first generation college students, those who, as Brian said, were coming out of the military with the GI Bill in the late 40s, early 50s. It's been sort of a hallmark for the institution to really work with first generation college students and to see them flourish and succeed in higher education. Those first years were really commuter students, day students. Some folks who lived at a distance, lived in town with families. So it's really, our roots are really here in the town of Easton. And the sense of giving back that the college, I think, really wants to do in the life of the community has been really important to us.
And there's been a lot of growth, too. We now offer, I say we like I'm working at the college, but the school now offers graduate programs, not, I don't think, seeking to become a university per se, but graduate programs in accountancy, taxation, in marketing. What else is on that?
Well, we're beginning an MBA this year,
okay.
so that will begin in the fall. Just in the midst of completing the strategic plan for the next 5 years, and within the plan, there's a movement towards creating a nursing program. So really excited about that. There's a real need for nurses and healthcare workers, certainly in southeastern Mass, but in Massachusetts as a whole.
And how it's expanded over the years. Buildings have gone up, and I know that congratulations on moving to Division 1. I'm sure you've been congratulated many times for that. It's interesting how it expands, and more people. Your student population has changed.
Well, it's one of the things about Division One and the movement of the college in Division One. It's allowed us to compete with schools that we wouldn't have been able to in Division Two. So it's important for the college to sort of expand to other markets and to get the word out about a Stonehill education. So that's really helped us, and I think Division I allows us to really compete at the highest level in the NCAA.
And the perfect example is playing the University of Connecticut. They won the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you actually played them on the schedule. That's wow.
And I think we're going to see more of that, as that integration to D1, continues to evolve. We'll have more name schools coming on campus and have our athletes, going to those schools. But Division I think, was a hallmark, but that's almost like one of the top layers of a cake that's still being built. Right. There's going to be more top layers coming up, and I see now, active in alumni affairs, we see, so many kids who are there now whose parents were the alums, whose parents were the first in their family to go to college, and now showing that to their kids and saying, you're going to get a great education here. And you're also going to get a great sense of community. And we see that I know I talk frequently with Mark Sabina in the programs and special events and things like that. And I know he's been very involved in helping with the kickoff event and will be with the gala. That's something that not all schools are able to do or willing to do, that kind of deep reach into the community. Why is that so prevalent here?
Well, I think we want to be an active part of the community, a good neighbor to the town of Easton, to the city of Brockton, to really be, a participant in the life of the community and to share, whether it's space or the buildings, to serve the common good and serve our community here in Easton.
And sharing the brain power too. There are a lot of folks on the faculty and in the administration who also get involved in a lot of other things, not in just this community, but in the Northeast region.
Good point. I know we have the general manager of the Brockton Rocks here, but Father John, you have a general manager from the Boston Red Sox that is an alumni member of Stonehill
Oh, that's
College.
awesome.
Yeah, and Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And do you want to mention his name?
No, I'll let you talk about Lou Gorman.
Lou Gorman.
He was
Well,
an incredible gentleman.
And
He really was.
when you go
one
into
of
the
a kind.
lobby of your athletic facility, you can see that name.
That's
So,
cool. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I learned
no,
something.
it's,
I've heard of
yeah.
Lou Gorman, of course,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I
that's
have
great.
an image of Fenway on the wall, and Lou was in the first graduating class of the college back in 1952. So he is, he's really a hero to many people. He's really, just as Brian said, what a real gentleman, and really gave a lot to the college, certainly in his time, but his talent, and just someone who loved Stonehill. And if you met him,
I met him and talked with him on a few occasions, having coached in high school one of the Red Sox players, Tony Canigliaro. So it's interesting, the late Tony Canigliaro. Certainly, we wish that somebody was available to do CPR when he went through the tunnel at that time. But the Brockton Rocks, how many games do they play during the season?
So we play 96 games across the summer, 48 home games, 48 on the road. So we start middle of May, about May 9th or 10th typically, and then we run through the end of August, and then playoffs are the beginning of September. So the Frontier League is relatively newish, but it's expanded a lot in the past couple years. But there's 18 teams in the Frontier League, made up in 2 conferences, an Atlantic and a Midwest. But the league has expanded in size, so we have teams that go. We have 3 Canadian teams in our league. So for one night only, we'll take down the Canadian flag and fly the Easton flag on Easton night, Saturday, August 16th. But we typically, to represent those teams, fly that flag. But we have 3 teams in Canada, and then we have us, of course, up in this region. And then there's several teams in the New York area, the New York Boulders, the Tri-City Valley Cats, who are in that Albany, Troy area. Then we have several teams in the Midwest around Chicago, the Windy City Thunderbolts, and several others. And then we actually have 2 teams that are a little bit outliers. We have a team down in Kentucky, the Florence Yawls, and then new to the league this year, we have a team all the way down in Jackson, Mississippi, the Mississippi Mud Monsters. So that's a fun bus ride if you are a player on the Brockton Rocks or the Quebec Capitale.
So the teams don't fly, they take buses?
So in general, we bus. Some teams do. Everyone's trying to kind of figure out the Florence and Mississippi puzzle right now. This year, it's been a bit of a split in terms of some teams busing down there, some teams flying. Of course, economics come into play, other schedule, where you're going. But there is some flying that happens. But overall, it is a bus league, like most minor league and independent leagues. They get on that bus and they ride around the country.
So, Alex, when I was involved with the Rocks, they were part of the Collegiate Futures League. And in that time, the athletes were all college players or recent college grad, but mostly still in their collegiate careers. And they would have hosts or families that they would stay with during the season when they weren't traveling. How's that handled now?
So we're professional, so we are post-college, so our players are signed and paid, and that not dissimilar to how a major league team builds out a roster. We are building a host family program, so we do utilize as well. Most of our players are still young, freshly out of college or nearby. Often they are just missing that one little, tool that's going to get them drafted or signed on by a major league team. So they're often coming to the Frontier League to try to work on that skill and put together a season to then go out and get signed. And then we also have on the other end, we have sort of that veteran player that never may have quite made it, but isn't ready to stop playing. They're trying to put off for another year or two, deciding what they're going to do for the rest of their life when they're that 27, 28, and whatnot. So we have kind of those both sides. The side still trying to come on the way up, and then the folks that just love the game and just love the community, love the ballpark, and want to keep playing. So we do utilize some host families as well as other rentals and housing for it. And if anyone out there is interested, you can reach out to me, Alex at BrocktonRocks.com for next season. If you're interested in having a player stay with you for the summer, would love to hear from you. But that's a great question.
Why don't you repeat that
It's
again?
Alex at BrocktonRocks.com.
Yeah, and I've been to several of the games. My older grandchildren, when they come in from San Diego, love to go to the games. And yeah, I will say this, I mean, it really is a game. Baseball was my game growing up, and it was for kids, and it still is. And
Absolutely.
when I walk in the ballpark, I'm a kid all over again. So we're getting ready to take, one of the grandchildren to the game, and she says, "Pop, do you have a glove for me?" And I'm a lefty, but I've got a right-handed glove in the closet for the kids when they. So here's Josie and I, all the way down the first baseline, past the netting. She wanted to be past the protective netting.
Oh, yes.
Because she wanted to get a
foul ball.
And she walked away from the building with a foul ball. You would have thought she got the Hope Diamond.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Folks, if you have not been to a Brockton Rocks game, get to a couple of them. Certainly come to the free one on August 16th, but it is a level of baseball where they're running out every ball. They're playing with hustle. They're playing with determination, and they're playing with a lot of emotion too. So it's, they're not mailing it in. This is really good minor league baseball. So we're glad to go when we have a chance, and really looking forward to the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very high quality. It's guys that love the game, that are out there hustling, like you said, and you're just not going to be able to beat the proximity and the affordability. I mean, for $12 to $14, you can literally sit in the front row and be right there, either on the net or down past the net. And you're just the access to be able to, the closeness, the access to be able to meet the players, get autographs. Every Sunday after the game, we do a team autograph session. So you get to come right down on the field, and the whole team's out there taking photos, signing autographs. So it's all pretty great. And it's just something that, the Red Sox are great. Major League Baseball is fantastic. But when you have 35,000 people versus a stadium with 5,000, there's just a proximity that we can do that they can't replicate. So you just get so much closer, much more community, much more of a family feel.
Yeah.
And for another $5, you can throw out the first pitch.
That's right.
You're selling your slot, Dave?
The highest bidder.
I don't think so. You're not getting out of that.
But again, we remind you, the Town of Easton will have an Easton night at the Brockton Rocks. That's over at Campanelli Stadium in Brockton. And of course, there'll be free parking at Brockton High School. And they're known as the City of Champions. And of course, in the Town of Easton, we're celebrating our 300th anniversary. And we're very proud of the history that we have here in the town. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back. Please enjoy these public service announcements. I'm Dave Clifton here along with Brian Hoffman. We'll be right back.
Welcome to ECAT, Easton Community Access Television. I'm Dave Clifton, happy to be the chair of the 300th anniversary celebration. And we're here with thousands of people that are enjoying the Family Fun Day here at Langwater Farm. I'm with the Vertec folks who have been so generous in their donations. And of course, we're doing this in memory of their son, handsome guy that you see here on the banner. But I'd like to thank the Barati family for coming forward to do what you can to help. I guess we're all in the helping people business. And we certainly thank all the folks out there in the community. And we appreciate the Red Sox tickets that have been made available to some lucky winners here at the Family Fun Day. But more than the Red Sox, we got a winning team in the town of Easton. Again, I'm Dave Clifton, and on behalf of the Tricentennial Committee, we thank you all for joining us. This has been a production of ECAT. Thank you.
Dan, good to be with you today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Easton 300th Anniversary Parade.
He's the Grand Marshal of the parade. He's been the leader of our committee since the very beginning when they started back in 2023 planning for this. Right now, that would be the Easton State Police. Easton, the Massachusetts.
Boisterous, but what you do see is Stonehill alum and Stonehill students giving to the town. And this is the Stonehill Skyhawk. Incredibly grateful to Vertec Corporation for sponsoring the LFO Shriners.
Now, speaking of the vehicles we've been talking about all along, we get even more fun vehicles.
Yes,
All of the
indeed.
custom carts, which is a division of the Aleppo Shriners. They call them the custom carts.
And here we have a depiction of the Easton Shovel Works back when it was a water-driven powered factory, and a replica of the famous Ames shovel. That's the foundation and the backbone of Easton, where it came from and what it's become.
What a great float, too, with all the history pictures, the history of Easton right there, the different buildings of town.
Yep.
They did a great job there.
The Clydesdale horses.
Some of the Ames family
And
riding
riding
with the Clydesdales.
Clydesdales. We see Fred Ames.
Hello.
Hello to the Ames family and to the Clydesdales.
They are beautiful horses.
They are
Brian.
indeed. These are amazing animals, and they are iconic in how they represent America.
That's Corey, right? Corey.
Yeah.
In
Big
with
shout
the-
out to Corey Ahonen. Our country, what it is today.
So.
And speaking of Easton Community Access Television and the ECAT Tiger,
They are at all of the events in town. They do everything, and you can go on their website, you can find old videos of things. ECAT has everything.
They do indeed.
They work with every group. They're wonderful.
I think it goes without saying that if it were not for the people of the town of Easton, the various committees and chairs, and just the army of people who are behind the scenes pulling this off, including the Easton DPW, who did the lion's share of work setting up today's reviewing stand and the kind of the center of operations here. None of this could have happened. So on behalf of Dan Anderson and myself, Brian Hoffman, and on behalf of the Easton 300th Tricentennial Commission, we want to say thank you for being with us. Hope you enjoyed today's parade.
And here it is, June 14th, Flag Day. We had a terrific flag ceremony over at the Val Moscato Stadium. Happy anniversary to all the folks here in the town of Easton. In the background, you have the Reminiscence, the famous band that joins us. Dale, I couldn't be more happier to see the crowd that's turning out.
Yeah, it's been a great event, notwithstanding the weather. So Easton's showing some flexibility and fortitude under some adverse conditions, but the weather is cooperating. The rain is done. We had a fantastic Flag Day ceremony. For those who missed it, it was quite patriotic with the patriotic music, and we had the benefit of a flyover from the Massachusetts State Police helicopter, which was pretty darn neat. And then we've now got some awesome music going on. There's a ton of events going on for the kids with the bouncy houses. And then we're going to be following up with the fireworks to cap off the night. And I don't think Easton's had fireworks before, at least since I've been here in Easton since 1993. So it's an exciting day altogether.
And I know, Dale, we got another big event coming up on July 12th, and that's going to be the largest parade the town of Easton's ever had.
Yeah, it's been a jam-packed year of activities. So the next event after this, July 12th, the parade, which will be starting near the monument and going all the way up and ending up on Main Street. And then we have on September 6th, we're having a town block party at the Governor Ames Estate. And then we're having a bonfire on October 11th, and our fire chief is coordinating and said it's going to be the biggest and best bonfire this town has ever had. And then we follow up with the only ticketed event that we have, which is the gala ending the year, which will be at Stonehill. You can find out more information at easton300.org. And it's a great opportunity for everybody in the town to come together and help celebrate our 300th year.
It's a great opportunity for us to thank our committee of volunteers. They all year, since 2013, have been sharing their time, their talent, their ideas, and their resources to make this a successful celebration. Tonight is a perfect example. We started early today planning and preparing. We had the flag ceremony, we had the community picnic, and I'd like to thank the coordinator, Jessica, for her hard work and effort to pull her volunteers together, because when you take a look on camera at all the folks that are here tonight, we certainly are bringing the town together. And I've always said from the very beginning how lucky we are to have a community like Easton where we can do things together and to celebrate in a positive way.
Yeah, so we started planning with lots of people from the town. The Easton Police Department, the DPW was very helpful. Everybody really stepped up to the plate putting this event together. The picnic celebration that's going on now was what I coordinated, and then helped out with the fireworks. Everybody is very happy here. I've seen nothing but smiles, which has been fantastic. This is what the Tricentennial is really trying to do, which is bring communities, or the community, together for fun events. So it seems like this was a success on that regard, that everybody is here, everybody's happy, and it's a great free event for our community and to celebrate the 300th birthday of Easton. And thank you for being here, and ECAT for being here and covering it. So thank you.
And it's a great opportunity to thank you, Adam, and of course ECAT, Easton Community Access Television. You have been there from the start, and that goes back to 2023 when we started to plan this celebration. And of course, when you see the crowd showing up today, we are absolutely thrilled. And our theme has always been bringing families and community together. You have helped make us do that, and the community is very proud of ECAT.
Welcome back to Easton 300. I'm Dave Clifton along with Brian Hoffman, and we're talking about a couple of people that have joined us today that are impact people. Father John from Stonehill College, and how happy we are to have the college located right in the heart of Easton, Massachusetts. And of course, Alex is the general manager of the Brockton Rocks. We can't thank you enough for you and the ownership hosting the town of Easton.
We're excited. It's going to be a great night.
This is not like inviting 4 or 5 people over. It's more like 3,000. I know the stadium holds 5,000.
Let's sell it out.
And folks out there that are watching, if you haven't got tickets to the Brockton Rocks game on August 16th, go on our webpage, easton300.org, or call a telephone number. Write this down, 781-690-3476, and we'll make sure that you get tickets to the Brockton Rocks game. It's going to be a great night, a doubleheader. Brian and Father John have already prayed for good weather.
Yep.
And of course, after the doubleheader, it'll be followed by fireworks to celebrate the Easton 300th anniversary. And thank you, Brockton Rocks, for doing it. And what we want to do right now, Brian, is to mention some of the events that are coming up.
Yeah. It's been, I think, a spectacular year so far. And the most fortunate thing is that all of the events, and these have been some rather massive undertakings when you think of this as kind of a small town, they've gone off without a hitch. Doesn't mean they've gone off without a few wrinkles here and there, but I don't think anybody who wasn't involved in the planning would even recognize, the wrinkles. The kickoff event, which was at the Sally Blair Ames Sports Complex on the campus at Stonehill, and Father John, we can't say enough about all of the support we received pulling that thing off. We thought maybe we'd get 10, 1,200 people there. I think north of 3,600 people attended, and there was something for everybody. And people literally stayed until the end. They didn't want to go home.
And I thought we did the right thing by having buses available.
Yes, and again, it's this cooperation within the various organizations in the town, whether it's the Lions, the DPW, Dave Field and his crew have just been massive in terms of supporting the events as we've gone on. But we've had that, we've had the fireworks, the parade, which was, we mentioned a little bit early. Father John was like the rock star in the parade, people running out of the crowds to give him a hug and say, glad to see you. And we talk about, the college as part of the community and the community as part of the college, but there are so many alums who have settled here in the Easton area that they and their kids and their grandkids were lined up on Center Street watching that parade. And, where's our little
and the fireworks,
our tote board here? We've got the
fireworks were spectacular.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They were held at the high school complex. Earlier in the day, we had a flag ceremony. It was a chance to honor the veterans. We had a flyover. The helicopter flew over 3 times to make sure we saw them.
Yeah,
it's great. The fact is
triple
that
flyover.
Then we had a community picnic. It was just a fabulous turnout, and the weather was a little iffy.
Yep, and yet everything cleared in time. I mean, I remember when we were calling the parade, Dan Anderson and I got, a call through the headset that we're not sure whether the flyover was going to happen because of the limited ceiling, and all of a sudden they said, it's on, and here comes the rotor wash of the helicopter coming right down over Center Street, and all the kids looking up, and we had the State Police Mounted Unit, the State Police Aviation Unit, the Clydesdales from Merrimack, the Shriners.
The Shriners.
It was just
They were a big hit.
It's big time stuff for a little town.
And we had a lot of
you know,
community participation, and we thank all the town department heads for their energy and for their cooperation. We could not run a celebration this size without the town departments being involved.
unbelievable.
Public safety
Yep.
Certainly is a priority.
Yeah.
But the next two events that are coming up,
Yeah, the
we
block
have the
party.
Brockton Rocks
Yep.
game on August 16th. On the 17th, we have a bike race. And on September 6th, our next signature event will
Huge
be a
block
block
party. Yeah.
at the Governor Ames Estate.
Yeah, which is literally right across from the studio here. So it's a beautiful park. It's a beautiful, piece of acreage. And I think there's going to be somewhere around 35 or 40 different booths for different organizations in the town. That's free to them to set up and talk about the things they do in the community. There's going to be facilities. There's going to be music. I mean, it's just going to be an incredible thing. And then it just even gets better and bigger. October 11th, we have the bonfire. And I hate to say this, but I think our fire chief is really excited about setting a fire. His eyes gleam when he talks about setting off this bonfire, and he promises it's going to be, one of the biggest fires anybody's ever seen. And I'm certainly,
Bonfires are great.
I'm taking his word
Where is
for
that?
it.
I might have to. Are non-Easton residents invited?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
It's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
put
at-
that on my calendar. I love a
Absolutely.
bonfire.
It's going to be at the high school complex. And of course, in the morning, from 9 to 2 p.m., we're going to have a car show at Borderland State Park. And we're expecting about 300 cars to be displayed.
These are antique cars. These are, they're really some special
And then
looking
from
automobiles.
6 to 9:30 p.m., we're not only going to have a bonfire that goes off, but we'll be able to sit and watch it. And there's going to be a free cookout, barbecue.
Yeah.
And we thank the Roach brothers for taking care of the expenses for this.
Yep.
And
the
of
Lions,
course,
I
we
think,
have
are
two
going to do the
bands.
cooking, right? Aren't the Lions going to do the cooking?
The Lions Club, we say hats off to the Lions
Yep.
for preparing it. I said I'll get it donated, and you folks do the cooking.
And I think, and I think we
then
have
we
to
have
also,
people like Brian that'll take care of eating.
That's right. I will do that. I'll find a place to put it. But I think we also have to recognize, Doug King and Douglas King Builders. They're sponsoring the block party. So there's the interesting thing about all of these, and we've heard comments around town about, gee, why is the town spending so much money on all of these events? The town hasn't spent a nickel on all of these events.
It's all donated.
Everything that has happened is from private sponsorship, organizations, companies, and corporations that are located within the town or whose owners live in town, and private donations from families and people saying, I'm in, let me help cover the cost. And that to me is just as amazing as pulling it all off, because
We thank the sponsors so much for their contributions, and they have been very generous.
and
But
David
I'd also
Howe,
like to say to the folks out there watching
yeah,
that we're forever grateful to the town departments because they had a great sense of cooperation. We couldn't do it without them, and public safety has to be a priority when you bring large crowds
Oh,
together.
absolutely.
I know, Father John, you know that, and you must know that
Absolutely.
being the general manager of a baseball stadium.
yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but so far through 7 rather significant events, we have had no, health and safety issues that I'm aware of. And I think that's because whether it's the CERT program, through the fire department, and that's the Civilian Emergency Response Team, and the fire department, and the police department, and DPW, and I think just good active citizens who know how to behave at an event like that, like all of these events. We haven't had any issues. Knock on wood, we're not going to have any as well. And I mentioned Doug King, and he's, Douglas King Builders has sponsored the block party, but the town bonfire is going to be sponsored by David Howe and Jay Dorenzo. And again, here's a builder, a developer, someone who has got his hands in the mud helping to build a town like this Same thing with Doug King. When you look at all of what he's done over the years, they're still active, they're still involved, and they're still putting something in the game. So
And let's thank Avery Lee Williams, the late Lee Williams, for his healthy contributions to the gala. The anniversary gala will be held at Stonehill College. That date is December 27th. It happens to be the college break. And one of our speakers who's going to welcome everybody is Father John, and he's sitting right here.
I look forward to it, David. It's a nice time too. The college is a little quiet then, so hopefully we get good weather too coming in on December 27th. So that's it'll be a truly festive celebration, I think, for the town.
Right in the middle of the holidays. And folks, that is the one event out of all of these significant, what we call signature events, that's the one event that's going to require you to come across with a few bucks. So that will be a ticketed event, and you'll be able to get tickets as soon as they are available.
They are available now.
Oh, they are? Okay.
As a matter of fact, there
I
are
think
people
there are tables
now
of
buying
10,
tables.
correct? Yeah, tables of 10, and I
for
think
the
it's
event.
$100 a ticket.
Tables of 10.
Yep.
And of course, we're expecting a huge crowd. You can quote me, I say 500 plus.
Oh, I think so. I'd be
I mean, there's
surprised
300
if
already
it's not.
involved.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to Splash. It's been so exciting to not only participate in the process in a leadership role, but to sit here and talk about it. I'm overwhelmed at the crowds that we've gotten at each event.
Yeah, and
There were 1,500 people in the parade and maybe 5,000 that watched.
yeah,
And 2 kangaroos, courtesy of the Rots. our
that's right.
mascots.
Yeah, KO was there, walking around giving high fives to the kids, and
Tickets.
And tickets.
and you mentioned exciting, and it is. I think all of these things have been exciting, but for me, it's also humbling to see how good people can be. We see so much in the news that doesn't reflect the best of humanity, and you see these things happening, Dave and Father and Alex. You see these kinds of things with just ordinary people getting involved, doing things that are meaningful, not just to them, but to their fellow citizens, to the people who live and work in the town. And to me, it's humbling. To me, it's, you're just not going to see that every day. And so it makes you really feel good about being involved.
And
at
Brian,
whatever
I've
level.
said this many times that the folks that live here in the community of Easton have been willing to share their time, their talent, their ideas, their resources to help make this dream come true. And this dream is to bring the families and the community together and to develop a good sense of community. They are happy to give their time back. And of course, living in the community, I always remember what Gandhi once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of helping others.
Yeah.
And we thank the people in the town of Easton for making this giant celebration happen. It truly is a year-round celebration. And I remember back, first meeting with you, Father John,
A long time
in
ago
your
now,
office.
David.
Yeah, how
And
long
we-
have you been working to put this all together? Is this
Just last week.
it's on the fly? Or just,
I think our first meetings were in late 2022.
We were appointed by the Easton Select Board in 2022.
Yeah.
That was December.
Yep.
And in January, we had our first meeting, 2023. And one of the first people I met with to get his blessing was Father John. And he looked at us, he probably saw some energy, and we were excited.
And a little bit of craziness.
About-
He probably was thinking to himself,
about-
these people are
And we
nuts.
asked ourselves the same question at the first meeting. What are we going to do? How are we going to pay for this?
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Yeah.
And here we are, and we can see
Well, it's
some
truly
of the,
a year-long celebration, too. I mean, to think you started in January and going all the way to December and
Yeah.
able to sustain it.
And I remember a woman in town come up to me and said, Dave, what day is this celebration on? I said, this is a year-round celebration. We're expecting to have 1 or 2 events each month. And it's going to be a wrap-up. We got White's Bakery is going to make a cake at the gala, enough to feed 500 people. And it's going to be terrific. The select board are going to cut the cake.
Oh, great.
We invited all of the town and state officials, and we're expecting an opportunity to thank all the committee members. Started out with 10 people appointed by the select board. Then it went to 40. And now, with all the volunteers, hundreds of people involved in making things happen. And Brian, you've been with us from the beginning, and you know that it takes a lot of people to make it happen.
And it's been an absolute pleasure. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of hours and it's a lot of stuff to do, but there's so many people involved. All you have to do is turn around and say, who wants to help? And the hands are going up, and people are signing up, and they show up. You know, people aren't saying, I'll help, and then it's, whoop, I'm busy, you know. They're saying, what can I do, and what can I do next? And, you know, as I say, that goes back to that first word that we were batting around here early on of community. And these people aren't doing it for their good, as you just, you know, quoted from Gandhi. They're doing it for the good of the entirety of the population. And I think everybody sees that. And I know we're going to be putting together an album, a book. I think Chris is working on that, that will have kind of the annals of what has happened during this year, and I think some of the preparatory work as well. That's going to be, you know, that's going to be a hallmark, you know, piece of history that I certainly
going to be a very large book.
Yeah.
Because we've had so many events. And I think Chris Ventresco, he's the guy that's heading up the anniversary book. But we have a cookbook that sold like hotcakes.
We do, yeah, that's right. 300 recipes. It's
and
a
I
nice
think,
magic round number. 300.
I got so many thank yous.
recipes, wow.
Yep.
And we got a lot of thank yous from the young people. We gave the class of 2025 an historic blanket that they could take off to college with them. And they loved it. It has all the historic buildings in town. It has Stonehill College, as the high school, the Oak Ames Memorial Hall, the Governor Ames Estate, the list goes on and on. Portland State Park, and it's something that they will treasure. And that was presented to them after graduation. So it's a little token of appreciation.
Yep.
And we're going to do something similar with the senior adults in the community as well. So, Father John, I'll start with you. Any final comments that you'd like to make in terms of Stonehill College and, of course, being part of the community?
Well, it's been really, for me, just a wonderful experience to be able to celebrate with the town 300 years. I've been blessed to live here for the last 35 or so, and to be a part of the community, and it's really been home to me. So both the college and the town of Easton. So it's just been a great place to be a part of this community. And for me, the parade, you know, it was flawless. It just went off so well, at least from a participant, you know, who got to walk in it, was able to walk in the parade, but just to see families celebrate and the sense of community was really vibrant that day.
I think it was, yeah.
It was terrific. And I know, Alex, you got a big job, and you sound like you have lots of energy.
I try my best.
Yeah, and I know that, again, we can't thank you and your superiors for giving us the opportunity to have an Easton, I call it day and night. It started out as a night, and then another game was
we added another game thanks to some rain in May last time the Tri-City Valley Cats were in town. But no, it's should be a really exciting night, and yeah, just check your calendars. Please come out Saturday, August 16th. It's going to be a really great night. Fireworks, run the bases, just a community coming together, and then we hope to see you. We got 12 games left. Head to BrocktonRocks.com. We have a lot of other fun promotions as well. If you have children or grandchildren, we will the next day after our Easton night at the ballpark. We have a 3:30 game, and we're going to have our Kids Fest day. While every day is kind of geared toward kids, this will be extra special. We're going to have Bluey and Bingo from the popular television show Bluey coming out to the ballpark to meet and greet with fans. So if you would like to come out and meet them, or your grandchild would like to, or children, come on out. Spend the whole weekend with us at the ballpark.
Terrific. And we'd like to also give a special thank you to ECAT, Easton Community Access Television, for covering all of our Easton celebration as we enjoy the 300th anniversary. Some final comments, Brian, that you'd like to make?
You know, I think we've covered an awful lot in this show. It's been a pleasure to have Father John here. I think of him as a good friend and a mentor, as well as a spiritual leader for a lot of people in this town. And great to have Alex here talking about the Brockton Rocks as a baseball kid who's still a kid in a lot of ways. It's always great to kind of rub elbows with people who are involved in sports. But the thing that I say, and I say it at the end of every telecast, I think, is that if you think that we've got all the people we need, we don't. If you want to get involved, if you want to volunteer, give us a call, hop onto the website, and we are glad to have any and all of you with your energy, your talents, your enthusiasm, and most of all, you then make that word community even bigger and better. So stay with us. We've got a few great events left in the year.
And Brian, some words of wisdom to our two select board members, the chair and the vice chair.
Oh, my goodness. You know, the support we have had from the select board, from the get-go, from the naming of the folks on the committee, to all of the work that they have done to attend committee meetings, you know, as an ex officio member of the committee, to rally and the town departments didn't need an awful lot of rallying. They've been involved in this, you know, with smiles from the get-go. But just to coordinate all of the things that within the infrastructure of the town are important elements of pulling these things off, you can't say enough about these people. Every single person on the select board has been supportive, has been enthusiastic, and like everyone else, like all of the department heads, what comes out of their mouth first is, what can we do? And how can we do it? So you couldn't ask for a better supportive government structure. And I think that's what made a lot of this possible.
And we thank the Easton Select Board and all the town department heads for their sense of cooperation, and certainly they indeed have a sense of community. Again, we thank Father John. We thank Alex from the Brockton Rocks. That's going to wrap up our show today called Easton 300. We say to everyone out there, go forth to serve. Do it with a smile on your face.
And we thank you for being part of it.
Yes, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you.